Any minute now. Yeah, we are live now, so
I'm right on time, and you're talking about sweet and sour sauce at the top of your lungs. It's perfect.
Yes, we'll give people a couple. Hopefully people will join us soon. It's only been. We still have a few minutes.
Yep, we're good.
But nice to see we have a full crew today.
Yay!
Yep.
Sorry.
Okay. You're however
Sorry
often
you're
as you
not
can
missing.
is good enough.
Darn, the ninjas missed again. I'll fix that next time.
Did you not see the? Well, if she didn't know about the ninjas, then they kind of did their job.
Maybe they're still. Maybe I gave it away.
Yeah, now she's
They're
gonna be on the
late.
lookout for ninjas.
They're late.
What you don't know is I hired them myself. They showed up, and I hired them to do something else.
Something
You're not
else.
supposed to use my assassins to clean your apartment.
Pretty much.
Stop using such cheap assassins.
What are you supposed to use? Jesus, right?
I'm sorry, my assassins I send apparently are really good at home care.
I bribed them with ramen noodles. Okay, like.
Oh my God, I really do need to pay them more if that's the case.
Oh, I have become the master of ramen noodles at work.
Ramen noodles at work. Do you get the 90-cent pack that's like a big bowl that looks like a bowl of popcorn?
Yeah.
No, because that bowl is half empty.
Yeah, but it's delicious. Like you got to fill half of it with water. It's like soup.
Oh, by the
Yeah.
time I'm done with ramen noodles, I swear to you, they will be delicious.
Are you like the one that like ketchup avocado and an egg and like makes it look like? Oh, so you're on Instagram then?
No, I watched other Instagrammers and I said
Ah.
I can try that. And YouTube, a lot of YouTube.
It pops up on Facebook. My wife, like last night, made me starving to death by showing me stuff. It's like I'm full and I want to go to bed, but now I'm hungry because I want to eat this burger that's made of like cheese macaroni waffles for the top and the bottom, and it's like perfect crispy cheese look to it, where it's red and it's like Anyway, I'm starving.
Binging with Babish is addicting.
Yeah, him. And if you want kind of a cooking show, I recommend My Drunk Kitchen is pretty good too.
I've heard of them. I've heard of that one. That's pretty fun. There's also one I liked. It was like a heavy metal, death metal cooker or whatever. He's just like he's just screaming the recipes. What are you doing?
Eddie's vegan. Yeah.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
Hi, Kristen. Kristen's here, and so is Rita.
Yep, Kristen, Jenny, Rita, Suko. Thank you very much. Thank you for the happy birthdays, Suko
Happy
Sagi.
birthday, Flavio.
Yes. Yeah. Speaking of full, I went to my traditional all-you-can-eat Brazilian steak buffet place, and oh my God, I almost I did overeat. I almost exploded.
But did you die?
Almost.
These are the questions that need to be answered.
Even with one more wafer thin thing, I would have exploded.
That's great.
Yes, I did have a good day. Thank you, Rita. Yes, I couldn't avoid. I avoided the last wafer thin. By
You didn't get the mint at the end. That's good.
That's right. I avoided it barely. Thank you. Okay, well, it's 8:00. I'm going to go ahead and officially get us started. Hello, everybody. You have found the Texas Steampunk Connection once again. We are broadcasting to you from our various bunkers and airships throughout the multiverse. And it is, may the 4th be with you. It is the 4th today. How's everybody going? I'm doing good. I had a good day yesterday. It was my birthday. Thank you for the happy birthday wishes, everybody.
Welcome.
I did not do anything.
Doing well.
Always doing well. I would have invited more people, but I don't know. There was like COVID restrictions and shit like that. I didn't even it wasn't even me who did the inviting. It was my girlfriend. So
One day you
sorry
got to
you guys
get her
didn't
on here.
Huh?
Because until then, she's mythical at this moment.
She's mythical.
beast.
Oh, I've met her. She
Taxes met her.
very quiet.
Okay,
So,
she does exist.
Yeah, English is not her first language, so she has to translate in her head a lot.
Okay,
So
that's right.
That's why
right.
she's a
We
lot
talked
quiet. And she may or may not be watching us now. Sometimes she pops in and out. She doesn't say anything on chat, but she has said she's watched us on occasion.
It's like, what do you do when you wear the weird hat? Well,
what do I do?
let's see. No, I'm acting as her. I'm conversating here.
Oh,
Prefaced.
she knows what I do
Oh.
when I wear the weird hat.
Conversing.
Flavio lets his freak flag fly.
That's right.
Are they like those panels behind you? Is that your flag?
Is that my flag? No, that's my I don't want you to know where I am cover. That's what that is.
I like Tax's flag. That's a busy flag over there.
Oh,
That's more like a tartan.
this is a Indian motif. It's much larger than a flag.
It's a
I think
rug.
it was supposed to be a bedspread or something, but
I love it.
yeah.
It looks great. Mount it to the wall.
And then there's a pile of junk under it. I'm trying to hide. Oh, look.
And then we have to talk about Nicole's background a little bit. I like the moon shades there, the big mirror, the mountains, the mountain range,
Mountain range.
Those gears on the wall there.
the awesome gears on the wall. And is that a headboard that's gears, or is that like
Yeah.
just a...
Yep, that's a headboard that's gears.
What?
Yep.
What?
Oh, steampunk your bedroom. All right.
It's a canvas bedspread, like it's cushy, and then I just spray painted gears on it.
Perfect.
I love it. So on Amazon, you can get these vinyl tentacles that are like 3 to 4 feet long, and I've been wanting to do like behind my headboard because I got one of those really tall headboards that's like really nice oak, like red oak looking. I just want to like peeking around the edges. Of course, I terrify myself in the middle of the night. Be wandering to the bathroom, wander back in the room with my light and my phone, and be like, "Oh my god!"
The gears are about to change colors. Actually, the red ones are going to go purple. The black ones are going to stay black, and then the gold ones are probably going to turn to silver because I'm changing the colors of my room. I'm not really changing anything about the aesthetic, just
the colors. Okay.
colors.
I like that. Change the colors.
So
Purple's a good color.
yeah, purple's my favorite color. And everybody's like, your favorite color, but you have nothing that's purple. And I was like, I have tons of stuff that is purple. It's just not in my room. Like, my phone is purple. Like,
Okay, perfect. Now you said something about your car there, Zax. What'd you say?
Yes.
Oh, he's changing his
I
name.
had you on mute because I was afraid another screen was going to start talking and interrupting. I've seen those vinyl stickers that Jack was talking about. They usually show them on walls, but you can put them on your car.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They're like.
Can I make it look like
Yeah.
an elder god is about to come out of the exhaust? Because that's what I would want.
They also have vinyl anything. So you can put some vinyl gears on it. Get some Victorian filigree, if you don't mind going a little frou-frou. And there's a lot to work with.
I mean, I will, but as soon as I get the hail damage repaired on my car.
yeah, you tell
Or the
me.
vinyl can cover up the hail damage.
You tell me this after I get a car that I'm not allowed to put very many stickers on.
Oh no.
Why do you have a car you're not allowed to put stickers on?
So my old car that had all the nerdy stickers on it, the brakes died. And so it had 200,000 miles on it, so it did me good. And so we found a exact same model, actually a different year model of my Kia Soul, different color, with only 40,000 miles on it. And my dad bought it outright, and I'm buying it for my dad. And he's like, okay, until this is officially yours, put one sticker on it. I'm like, okay.
Whatever works. Oh,
You could just entirely wrap your car and tell them it's one sticker.
there you go.
There you go. I like that. We'll just put all the stickers together, meticulously attach them with little tiny bits.
Yep.
Well, as our tradition, I'm going to open up with our "What are you drinking now?" First. Well, today I found another, obviously, another oatmeal stout. This is called East Brother Beer Company, an oatmeal stout from Richmond, California. Decided to try someplace different. It's not bad. It's really dark, very dark.
Good start right there.
Yeah, very, very dark. Pretty smooth, very smooth. They're saying it has English-inspired notes of rich milk chocolate, dark fruit, soft, comforting finish. Well, I can see the soft, comforting finish. I don't taste any chocolate. I don't know what they mean by dark fruit either, but it's not bad. It's a nice, smooth, wet drink.
Oh, that sounds good.
Who's talking?
That would be me talking. Apparently, it's deciding that I need to be the Texas Steampunk Connection versus Jack as the Steampunk Connection.
Okay, no worries. I was just curious. Like, wait a minute, someone's taking over our feed.
You have no power here.
Oh, do I not? Huh? No. Dare me! Dare me! Dare me! Bye bye. For anybody listening later on, I kicked him off the feed. I'm going to put him back on now. Okay, there you go.
Oh darn! I was planning on hacking back in.
Oh, sorry.
So Mick Ryder, I can probably put magnets. I've got one that says I love my mutt because both of my dogs are mutts, and so I'll put that one. But my dad just doesn't want stickers on there because they fade and they get off, like fall off, and they get ugly. And right now that's his car, and he wants it to look nice. So
I can understand.
I got a magnet for my car, not the car I'm currently driving, but a previous one. I was very excited about. Finally showed up in the mail, and I went to put it on the back of my car to find out that all my car panels were plastic.
Oh, yeah.
Oh no!
There was no metal to attach a magnet to.
Wow. Okay.
My car's made of tin.
Back to what we were drinking, I guess.
Yes.
So what are you drinking, Jack?
I am on an herbal tea mix at the moment because
okay.
I haven't bought beer. I've been spending way too much money trying to invest in Dogecoin at the moment.
Yeah.
So yes, I am. Yeah, that's where my $20 went this week was Dogecoin, and I'm up $40, so it worked.
Okay.
You're up $40 on the $20?
Well, okay, I have total of $40 on the 20.
So you doubled your money
because I got in on a 0.26, and I went in it, and I got out at 41 because I made some money, and then I reinvested when it dropped under 38, and now I'm up to, as of right now, 56. So here I am playing.
You're talking
cool.
30,
I'm talking
48, 56 cents.
Yes,
Right.
but when you have some more zeros involved outside of that 20 and the 40, you're doing pretty good.
Right. But as opposed to like Bitcoin, where, one coin is going for tens of thousands of dollars.
$56,000. Yeah, but you don't buy a whole coin. You buy parts of a coin.
Okay, this is way off subject, guys.
Oh,
All
right, sorry.
right, let's go back. What are you drinking, Fax?
Okay. I've been holding this in my fridge in case I couldn't find anything better. So this week, having not gone to the grocery, I've got a B52 Brewing banana beer.
You find the weirdest
Banana
thing.
beer.
It sounds
Banana
like a
stand.
milkshake.
Banana Foster inspired marshmallow lactose.
Wow.
A
So it's a
friend of mine gave me
lactose
this.
It's got
banana beer that brings all the boys to the yard, as my wife just said. So be careful when you open it.
So lactose is put in beer to make like milk stouts to get
Yeah.
that creamy flavor because
Crank it.
the beer yeast does not eat the lactose sugar.
It's intolerant.
Well, it just ignores it. It doesn't eat it.
Yeah, I'm intolerant, so I couldn't drink that. But that's sad.
Oh,
It's a
wow.
beer you finally found a beer you're intolerant to.
I know, right?
So this is it tastes very thick in your mouth.
Like
Like a-
malt?
Like a
So
milkshake?
A little of that banana texture.
Huh.
I mean, just the sort of thickness and milkshakiness.
So
Wow.
is it like
Really
a fake banana
strong.
from like the 1980s that no longer exists as a banana flavor, but it's what's considered banana still?
I think they get the banana flavor from, I'm just guessing, but a lot of it from the beer yeast.
Ah,
They
okay.
use a
Yeah, I
particular
didn't
kind
think
of
about
yeast that puts out a banana flavor. You get that a lot with pale ales or scotches or whiskeys. Some of them have that sort of banana in it, not because they put bananas in it. So,
Darn,
Well, I can tell you any
beer that-
scotches or whiskeys just taste like burning to me. There's not going to be any banana flavor at all.
Erica says Live Oak's Hefeweizen, and
Oh,
she's
yeah.
right, has a lot of banana notes in it.
Yeah, you're right. I remember that.
It's a sweet beer, so it's thick, kind of banana-y, kind of sweet. Not so much that it was a dessert, but it stands on its own. Definitely.
Looks like it's pretty dark. Is it?
It is.
Stands on its
very
own. Can you
dark.
slice it.
I might enjoy that one.
I don't know where this came from, but I want to find more.
Okay, awesome. How about you, Nicole? What are you drinking?
I am currently drinking watered down Coca-Cola. It's only watered down because my ice melted.
Okay.
But I got a new mug that's not broken. So
No leaking.
No leaking.
No leaking mugs this episode.
Yeah, apparently these mugs popped a man's tire. Like he ran over his mug and it didn't break the mug. It broke the tire. So I was like,
Wow.
okay, I'm going to try this out.
That sounds like a good mug.
You know, Nicole, I'm always wondering after all of this why you would need such a bulletproof mug in your life. But the more and more I get to know you, the more and more it actually seems to be about perfect.
Yeah. I'm going to use it as a shield against Spark, who is actually Burke at Steampunk. I had to use it as a shield against
I love this. I would love to do.
So
I want to do some cinematography when we finally get to Steampunk November.
We really should do something, yeah.
Cinematography.
yeah, no, this will be a Steampunk. If Steampunk happens, I do have news on that. They're trying. They're trying. They're hoping. They're hoping to be able to talk to vendors soon. I don't know I don't know what's holding things up, but Leslie said we're hoping, and she's passing out cards. So that's a pretty big hope if she's passing out cards. So
hear that, Kristen? Keep an eye out for that. If you're still listening.
We told Kristen last weekend too.
Okay. Perfect.
I wonder if we could get them on here if they when they decide to push the button. If they would like to, I don't know how they would feel about doing even a 15-minute just little moment or a 5-minute. Hey, we're doing the thing.
Right.
If we can get them on, that'd be great. I don't know how much good it will actually do them, but it'll do us good.
Right. I'll see Leslie again in 2 weeks.
Okay.
So I'll.
Perfect. We'll be on again in 2 weeks.
Somebody remind me.
Okay, we'll poke you.
Yeah. Just remind me, and I'll talk to her. So.
All right. Well, that ends our "What Are You Drinking Now" segment, the podcast within a podcast, with some late breaking. You heard it here first, folks. That Steampunk November is trying. They're going to try really hard to get up and running this year. They have a few months, so hopefully they can. I mean, most of us, if not all of us, are vaccinated already. I'm vaccinated fully. I know Thax is vaccinated.
Mm-hmm.
I've been shot.
You've been shot, okay? And
once or twice.
Multiple times. We won't talk about it.
Hello from New Mexico. No, hello to New Mexico. Sorry.
Bye.
Bye.
Nicole, are you vaccinated?
Not yet. I got to find time to do that because I've got to take 2 days off for it because I am in such close proximity with people that if I even feel sick, I can't come in. So I plan on taking 2 days off for that. But seeing as how I'm the only person at work right now, kind of can't. So.
You would think in your line of work they would want you to be vaccinated.
Yeah, you would think.
Yeah, that's some weirdness with that. But anyway.
Yeah, it was. I had the same problem in my work too. Ooh, well, Rita's about to get her second shot. All right, Rita.
Great, Rita. That's awesome. Yeah, it's so exciting that things are starting to open up again as a result of actually, people getting the shot and being able to go out safely, as opposed to opening up again, regardless of all, and spreading the pandemic. But yeah, I went to a restaurant this week.
I know.
It was crazy.
Deviant.
Although at this point, some of the restaurants I've noticed are taking down they had barriers up between booths at one point or another, just for protection kind of thing. Some restaurants still have those. Some restaurants are taking those down. I think they're taking them down a little too early. They should at least wait a little bit longer, just because, just for the aesthetic and for just in case kind of situation.
Yeah, I've been in a couple, and I'll admit to that. It's weird to sit with people right behind you again.
Exactly. It's so weird.
No,
I kind of like the whole keep 6 feet away from me thing. It's people I don't know. Keep 6 feet away from me at least. I don't care if you're sick or not.
Just
you
keep
know,
that rule from here on out. Just six.
and the lifting of the lockdown is really pissing off. I mean, the traffic has gone back to insane and stupid. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that is
People stay home.
Work from home. Just keep working from home. There's no reason not to.
I know,
anymore.
right? My job, I have to be out there in the traffic because I'm mobile with my job. The rest of you could have stayed home.
I had to stay home, so
Yeah, if you can't stay home for your job, great. But if you can, do it.
90% of the people I talk to are on the phone. Very few people actually walk into the office I work, and it's usually stuff that they. All right, if I'm taking cash payments, that's unavoidable. I can't do that over the phone.
Right.
But I make cash, credit. They check to a degree. Go on our website and pay. It's convenient for me to be there to take cash, and So, but other than that, I get maybe 8 people tops a day in my office.
Oh my God, that's too many.
Yeah. What's
The 5
weird
people
when we
in
get
my
2
office
at
are all
once.
vaccinated, but my supervisor, when he wants to come over to me, he'll like stop about 10 feet away and tell me to put my mask on so he can come over.
Okay,
It's
that's
the premise
something.
of the thing at this point.
I kind of appreciate it.
Yeah,
I don't
wrong
think
with
it's
that.
necessary anymore, but okay.
Well, I'm just saying, like, also, what was it? Last week or two? I've been going to San Antonio a lot for my job, just because there's been a lot of stuff going on. And it's about 2-hour drive from my house to wherever I need to be, and coming home about 2 hours back. Last week it took me 4 freaking hours to get home.
Wow.
Okay,
Was it
because
rush hour?
traffic, accident in New Braunfels, and then just Austin messed up traffic, just in general. It's like just crazy. Go stay home, people. Just stay home. There's no need for you to be out there. That's my sorry about the commentary. Let's actually start talking some steampunk, guys. There's a TV show you guys have been wanting to talk about
So much.
on
Oh,
Netflix.
So much. And I don't know how many people have seen it or not, so we're gonna have to be careful about it, Dax. 'Cause
I've
we
seen the
wanna
whole
I
get-
thing.
haven't seen it, so
Shadow and
Okay,
Bone.
So we'll do overarching stuff that doesn't actually deal with major plot points, but just like the way it's done, like the niceties of how it looks and the feel of it.
okay.
I'm just gonna start out. Y'all need to go see it.
Yeah.
Because
Good.
it
Go
is
watch it now after
awesome.
this episode.
So is it Shadow and Bone or Luminaries?
Shadow and Bone.
We
Shadow
talked
and
about Illuminate.
Did we? Illuminaries? No, we
I
talked about
it. I talked
The
about it
irregulars?
2-4 weeks ago,
Yeah, I remember us talking about Illuminaries.
Illuminaries.
and it's cool.
I don't remember Illuminaries. I remember
That's
I'm
not
also
the
excited.
Irregulars. The Irregulars.
the Irregulars. I'm sorry.
I'm also excited about the Nevers by Sci-Fi. Like that's another one because that has what's her name? Eva Green in it.
Mhm.
So
But it's on
Yes.
HBO, so we can't afford to go see it yet.
I've been
could
watching
watch
it.
HBO,
It's good.
so-
I recommend it. I'll wait. We'll
What
talk
a
about it
time
another
we
day.
are in to
I know
have
steampunk
the
on TV
Irregulars,
everywhere.
Nevers, Shadow and Bone, the Illuminaries, which I know nothing about. Rather, sorry about that. But wow, like good shows too.
Yeah.
Shadow and Bone, which we want to talk about tonight.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, it's like I want to say it's kind of Game of Thronesy with its like political system-ish, but with a lot more like family friendly, I guess.
They do a good job in building in world building, and they don't tell you everything.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You sort of have to fill in the blanks, but it makes it feel like a real or more realistic space.
Yeah, they don't have any of those weird people coming in like we're just going to have a moment where we're going to explain what the character should already know for just the viewer.
Right.
So,
The characters know it, but you don't, and you're not going to get to.
like you didn't know there was a king until like, oh, there's a king? Okay. Now all of a sudden he's
I'm not even sure what he's king of.
Well, it didn't
Okay,
matter to the characters.
Well, the
So-
land that they're in, that whole that dark thing, that whole darkness or whatever, that split their country in half.
Yes.
So
Right.
that's the whole thing right there.
It's
And plus,
a
apparently,
rift.
and they're at war
darkness.
with other countries right around them.
Yeah, it's kind of messed up their economy. Half the country's in half. You can go around the big barrier, which is not really a barrier per se. It's just think of it as like an evil sea. There's sea monsters that live in there and whatnot, but it's actually not water. It's just shadow. So all the bad things live there.
It seems sort of deserty.
Yeah,
in there.
Things have died in there. It used to be a lush forest, and it just has died because there's no light. And now there's evil things that run amok. There's wandering grooves and things like that. And so, but you can go around it, but it takes like 4 to 5 months. So no one wants to travel around it.
And there's other warring countries on each end of that rift. So even going around it, you could be captured by a warring country and held for ransom or whatever they do.
Yeah. And so the other side of the country is kind of like, well, we're kind of separate from everything else at the moment going on. We're kind of safe with this barrier thing up. Maybe we should go do our own thing.
This sounds oddly like the book I'm reading, but not at the same time.
It is based on a series of books.
Yes. It's based on 2 series of books, I think.
There are a number of series, but what we're watching right now is the Shadow and Bone trilogy. I looked that up. And it's one of those funny 5-book trilogies.
Okay.
Well, what happened was there's the overarching plot of like all the main characters, and then they have this little kind of like subplots they fill in with these other, like, I want to call them minor characters, but the TV show brings them in as an entire, like, they get equal time of storyline, and you really care about them,
right?
And so
I got to the end of the first season, I'm like, why were we following those 2 characters who didn't do anything? I mean, now we have sort of their backstory because I think they're going to like be important in the next season, but they didn't really do anything here. But it was still a good story.
Things. Yeah, they said some cute things. They had a moment, but other than that, they weren't really prevalent or relevant to the plot, which is fine with me. I don't mind having everything. Not everything has to make sense, and that's one reason I liked about this is there's a lot of just like, oh, look at this. Oh, look at that. They don't explain it, but I can make a assumption.
Well, let's slow down a bit. Let's go. I'm just going to give my first impressions. My first impression is that the aesthetic, instead of being like Victorian England, it was more Russian aesthetic, I think.
Yes.
With their dress and even some of the architecture was very Russian. That was really nice. I like that. It was different for sure. To me, it was also very, very. I mean, it is a YA book, young reader book or young adult book or whatever. And there was a lot of YA to me. I was like, man, this is definitely a YA.
So may I say something? I have watched a lot of young person TV recently, and like teenager-ish stuff. Some of the kind of.
Okay.
However, the way they wrote this, the scripts, it does not read. I mean, it reads like someone who has some grade levels to it. Like it's not simple.
I must say, I understand what you're saying, but to me, I mean, that's the first time I've ever watched a show and it's like, wow, this is definitely YA. Not that it was bad. I'm saying, but I felt it.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer is young.
So this is a corresponding book series with 6 of Crows.
Yes.
Okay. I know. I kind of know some of what we're talking about now. Like, I didn't put the 3 together. 3, whatever. I don't know.
Is that what you're currently reading that sounds like this?
No, I'm currently reading a book called The Bone Witch, and it's not even by the same author. So, but similar warring countries, but there's magic involved. Yeah.
So to bring the question about is it steampunk or not, I'm going to say I don't know if it's really true steampunk, except for the fact that the fantasy of it is the magic wielders are becoming less relevant. And that is kind of why the villain is the way he is he's feeling threatened. And so, because technology is catching up, you have steam engines, you have these wind sail, like everything used to be kind of, well, let's just get a magic person to, give us the shortcut. Well, now we have the ability to make trains, we have guns, we have revolvers, which actually revolvers are faster than you casting a spell. And I don't have to do a funny thing with my hand to make it happen. They actually start kind of mentioning that. And so there's technology is finally catching up. And I want to say I like it because there's enough fiction to it. It's not our world. And I don't know. Here, help me out, Dax. It's not completely steampunk, but it's still steampunk because it's the fantasy, right?
The author of the books referred to them as Tsarpunk.
Okay, that's
And
right.
I thought, yes, that's exactly right. It's
Tsarpunk.
Tsarist Russia, punk. So you've still got Victorian long coats and top hats, but it's a Russian style
Eastern
costume,
European.
and which was refreshing, really
Yes.
interesting.
I really liked it.
Like I'm looking
The
at all the
magic,
guys.
they refer to it as the small sciences.
Mm-hmm.
So they treat them like they're science, even though they don't fit with our understanding of science.
Like magical chemistry is the way they kind of explain it. We do little things because it does take from us to do it. Therefore, you don't want to do big things.
So it's alchemy.
It's alchemy.
Yeah.
There's alchemy in it, or they don't use the term, but yeah.
But yeah, they use alchemy. Oh, and then of course I want to know more about the politics of the region, and they don't really go into it a whole lot. They allude to a lot. You feel that people don't know what they don't know more than they should. For one, these are simple people. Most, like the two characters you're following, one's a map reader from the military, and the other guy's a tracker. They don't know, and they know that the warring factions they're fighting, but they're like, I've never been there. Of course, they wouldn't let me through their borders, and so it's wonderfully refreshing because it's fairly narrow for the characters that are there. And then you run to the other group of characters who are more worldly, and they know all these things, and they talk about them, and all the other characters kind of like, well, I don't know how to interact with this conversation, so they'll change the subject. But I don't know, it felt pretty good. I liked it. It moved at a good pace too. It starts off, and you're like, I think the first episode is the weird one because it's like one part's the past and one part's the present, and you don't know that until about halfway to 75% of the way through the episode. And then it's like, oh, okay, these two events are not corresponding at the same time.
So it's like Witcher. It's exactly like Witcher.
Yes, except
Okay.
Witcher has a moment of like, oh, he's got the scar, or he doesn't have the scar. Or
I didn't even notice the scar. Yeah, Witcher was a little bit timey, back and forth, past,
Yeah.
future, present. You know, I got a little confused at first, but I finally figured it out eventually.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. No, that's me. I was confused as to what was happening, and then I finally put the pieces together around the end of season 1.
yeah.
Good, I'm
Same
glad
here.
I didn't do one. I
like-
found that really frustrating.
Yeah, I didn't have a problem with it at all, but of course I like time travel stuff, so I'm used to like, all right, this is different. And then there's always like a tiny cue, and I don't have a problem with time travel.
Well,
Unlike the stupid book Steambound, where they had a flashback or flash forward. I don't know what the fuck was happening with this one. Never mind. That's a callback from a previous review. Sorry.
yeah, no, I don't have a problem with time travel either. And I did finally see the cue, but I was like, oh, this is going back and forth. And I've got 3 episodes left to figure out what the hell is going on. So, okay.
But once you figured it out, it actually, hey, oh wow, that was pretty good.
Yeah, it's like, okay, this makes sense now that I know they're going back and forth. But yeah, no.
It does give you a reason to watch it again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But I haven't.
which is
So if you
awesome.
guys are interested in Tsarpunk, this is a very, very decent version of it. I liked it.
Yeah, I
And I'm
mean, it
looking
wasn't
forward to it.
it wasn't very far off of being a steampunk. It could have been easily steampunk if they just added a few more gadgets or whatever.
The next one
I'm
could
fine with
easily
it being called steampunk. I think it fits for me. It's definitely got.
It's close enough.
It's got 2 out of 3, and it's almost got 3 out of 3.
All right, sounds
I mean, we're
yeah.
short
Okay.
one air wizard guy from just saying,
Right.
hey, look, let's push a balloon. And now we're steampunk. And
Well, they
or
didn't
one
have
guy's-
balloons. They had the sand ships where they just
Yeah, they
they
got
had
the
the person
ships.
using their air powers to blow the sails across the sand.
Like,
They had a
it was
train.
like a more grown-up version of Avatar in some
They did
cases.
have a train.
Another-
Yes.
like another variant of Avatar, because it's like you got the fire wielders and you got the wind people and you got
Mhm.
like there are obviously specialties of people what they're good at, and there's not really many that that do much cross across.
Right. And the blood benders or whatever.
Oh, the heart renders.
Yeah, the heart renders.
I liked that as a trick. That was a good one. I like how they pulled that off and how everyone's just like, nope, tie your hands apart. Like,
hmm
smart. I mean, it's how you deal with a witch, or it's you just deal with it. And I don't know. To me, it was refreshing. I loved all of the costumes. I wanted all the jackets every time I saw a new jacket.
They were awesome. I loved. Yeah, I agree with the outfits. The costumes are beautiful.
They must have had embroidery machines on the cheap. They just bought a bunch of them and said, "Let's embroider everything."
Yes.
Yeah.
So my new character for Steampunk November is Russian.
Then you definitely need to watch the show for some inspiration.
Now that I know this is Tsarpunk, I need to watch this to get a few more ideas for her, because she started out looking very much like Kate Beckinsale in Van Helsing, and I was like, I need to kind of deviate something here.
You need the one thing I've noticed about World War II Russian military clothing and whatnot is it's like almost there's two sizes fits all. There's only two sizes, large and small, and so either your clothes don't fit because they're too tight, or they're bulky and just big. They're always over much. Well,
if Steampunk November actually ends up happening and it's actually cold, lots of layers and bulkiness will be great. True. But if it's not, I'm probably going to still take Natalie McTavish with me because cooler clothing.
Definitely. I have been wanting to make an African campaign a safari outfit for Jack because it's hot, and I
have one of those.
I know you do, and Jack is jealous. So, but I don't know. Pith hat's not me, so I'll probably keep with the black hat, but I need 10 cowboy fatigues or something.
Yeah, my pants and my shirt for Natalie are cotton, really breathable, for hotter weather. And then I just stack fur on top of her. That's what I do with Natalie. But if I do the Tsar one, I'm gonna have to find a different route to be.
Yeah, there was a lot of fur in this show too. They had a lot of fur stuff, like fur shoulders and capes and whatnot. Just a lot of fur hats. They had the fur hats.
Yeah, that sounds pretty Russian.
Yep.
From based off of Hollywood Russian.
Yes, Hollywood Russian. But they were really nice, really great outfits. I mean, I do recommend the show. And apparently, Steampunk. Okay, 2 out of 3, almost at the 3rd. So yeah, we'll call it Steampunk. And it was really good. I am currently watching the Nevers as well, but it's only once a week, so I'm not through the whole show. I'm not talking about plot, but it is the most steampunk I've ever seen on TV. They got the gadgets, they got it all. So.
Nice.
One thing that really hit me with A Shadow and Bone, or the parts that I liked the best, really reminded me of my favorite fantasy novel that I've ever read. It's not steampunk, but it's also not really magic. It's just sort of a different fantasy world. The book is called The Lies of Loch Lamora.
You told me about that one, yeah.
And it's basically it's a heist book. The plots are designing and executing the big heist, and I got a lot of that in Shadow and Bone. And the characters that are doing the heist are so interesting.
I like them, yeah.
They were so cool.
Yeah, I really like
but I wanted to see them pretty much all the time.
Yeah, anytime the gunslinger was on, he's like, "Oh, I'm so awesome, and I'm gonna pull it off." And just smooth. Yeah, was it Jasper? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, essentially, those guys, those people running the heist, they were pretty much what everybody who's role playing steampunk bad guys. That's what they want to be.
But they're not bad guys. They're
villains or whatever. You know what I'm saying. Area. Okay, whatever. You know what I'm talking about, though. It's we're the villains, or we're the thieves, or pirates, or whatever. That's what they want to be. That's what they think of themselves
freedom.
as.
It's all about freedom for them. It was the freedom involved. and the ownership of things, and like the fact that he only like one of the characters collects, rare things, and they have to be one of a kind. And then you have the gunslinger guy who's just kind of doing his thing and being awesome and just spectacular at it. And then you have the girl paying her debts kind of thing. So I mean, you got the vague storylines that build upon themselves and have a history with it.
And who just has to be awesome with knives as well, and stealthy, pretty much assassin. She's an assassin type.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't sure if she was supposed to be one of the magic casters too for the beginning. It took me a while to realize she was just sneaky.
Yeah. There seems to be like an underlying either like, I'm not gonna say karma, but like the fact that even the tracker says he can sometimes like tell when certain things are about to happen. So I'm wondering if there's kind of like an underlying force or something going on, because there were some moments I'm like,
we call it plot, Jack.
Well, no, I mean, he literally mentions
because it helps the plot.
He mentions it though, like he hears a sound that no one else can hear. So I'm like, when are they going to bring up this? This is going to be
because he's just more experienced at this kind of stuff. That's why he's a tracker, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Maybe there's more of it in the novels.
That's what I'm thinking.
I'm always thinking, okay, what are we missing because we're not reading the novels?
Because there's a lot to it, and this makes me want to go read the novels.
Actually, that's what they're hoping for. They want you to go buy the novels to read them.
They're on my Amazon list now.
So I have 2 copies of Six of Crows. If anybody wants a copy of Six of Crows.
All right, we should have a little small contest or something. I don't know. However you want to give it away, let them know.
Which, I mean, it's not the same series, but they intermingle. So
it's in the same world, right?
Yeah.
It might be some of the same characters. Since you haven't seen it,
we don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah. I've mostly been tuning y'all out. I'm just kind of sitting here and waving to people on the feed.
Oh, hello, Karen Alyssa Sermons. Hello. I don't think we've seen you on before. Hello. Thank you for joining us.
She's been on once. That's one of my good friends.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen you say hello either. So hi.
You're talking to Nicole herself. She's
Not
on here with
Nicole, the other Nicole.
Oh, different Nicole's. No, that's the same Nicole.
That's me.
No.
Yeah, that's her.
Nicole McDonald is me.
Why am I waving at you? I already know you.
Oh, look, it's Tony Gage.
I know
Hello.
him.
Hey,
Heyo.
the necromancer? No.
Yes.
Necroprofessor. Yes, I knew that. Sorry, I knew that.
Mug, by the way, that's one thing I wanted to throw out there is go check him out specifically. He has a new mug.
A new mug.
He's got a new mug.
Cool.
It's got his mug on it. That's a terrible joke.
All right. Okay, I just got that. Okay, but I'm pumped.
Don't laugh. It's bad. Oh my God.
I'm laughing because it just took me a couple seconds to get it.
No groans.
I also want to mention. I'm not laughing at the joke. I'm laughing at myself.
I like what Vice Sci-Fi was saying. Men's steampunk summer wear is tricky. How do we work in shorts? I know one man who has easily done that. And I'm trying to think what.
I'm thinking like I've seen safari outfits that have khaki shorts for the most part.
He does the whole pith helmet safari thing, and he has these ridiculous ludicrous guns he carries around. They're almost always shoulder mounted and about 8 feet long.
I think the safari outfit's the only acceptable way to wear shorts.
Yep.
I don't
tall
even like it
to go with it.
Yeah, I personally won't do it, but that's the only acceptable way to do it.
I don't want people to see my knees. That's filthy. It's scandalous.
Entirely inappropriate facts.
But
that's what
dare you?
So you must wear really long socks.
Linen, fine linen pants. Linen is awesome. It's wrinkled, but it is so much cooler than cotton.
Definitely.
Train coming, putting you on mute.
Linen pants.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't get any pants you sent me.
Pirates can wear shorts.
All right. So, are we done with the Shadow and Bone talk?
Never.
Okay. Yeah, nothing else to add. I suppose, Jack, that's what you want to talk about as well. Okay, so I'm going to do my homework real quick here.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Let's see what we got here. I'm going to share. Somebody sent me a message. What the hell?
That was me.
Oh. Dude, I'm in the middle of a conversation. What are you talking about?
It's a question that's valid and pertinent.
I don't think we're going to have time for that today.
Okay, that's fine. Moving on.
Sorry. He distracted me. All right. What was I going to do? Share screen. I found a new shock. Oh, surprise.
Ooh.
Girl who electrified Tesla.
Ooh.
This is basically apparently there's a hero named Minky Woodcock who's a female investigator, and it's written basically. Let's roll over here. Launching this spring, Minky Woodcock, the girl who electrified Tesla, is set during World War II, more than 2 decades after the events from the 2017. Oh yeah, the girl who handcuffed Houdini. That's on my list to read, and sees the detective becoming embroiled in a new case involving inventor Nikola Tesla, Nazi agents, and the race to create the world's first weapon of mass destruction. The new series is once again written and illustrated by Minky creator Cynthia von Berler, who said in a statement about the new series, as with the Houdini episode, all of the anecdotes related to Tesla's life in my book are based on fact. I really love finding bizarre and believable facts and weaving them into my stories.
Tesla has a lot of those.
Yeah. Van Buller is also providing one of the covers for the first issue of The Girl Who Electrified, blah, blah, blah. Okay, beyond Mickey. All right, that's more stuff. But anyway, The Girl Who Electrified Tesla.
Ooh.
This new female Minky Woodcock is she's an investigator, and she's of course investigating. She's looking into. I'm gonna stop sharing. She's looking into Tesla's death ray. Remember Tesla's death ray?
Oh yeah.
He was trying to build, and people trying to steal the schematics for it, and it's basically Nazis, and it's just a whole. So it's
we talked about that like 2 seasons ago.
Yeah,
No,
I believe so. Because there was that TV show they were trying to rebuild his death ray.
Yeah,
We talked about that. It's from Titan Comics. Also it's an imprint called Hard Case Crime. If you can see that in the corner there, Hard Case Crime, Titan Comics. And it's actually pretty good. I mean, it's fiction, but it is based around the life of Tesla toward the end of his life, basically. And of course, there's all hijinks, and there's spies and Nazis and everybody trying to get a hold of these plans for this death ray, and she's talking to Tesla. That's one thing. Tesla actually, he almost like she was a reporter, but she's not a reporter. But she managed to get into his life and starts talking to him. She introduces her to his pigeon that he loves, kind of thing. It's like,
so this is very late in life.
Yes, it's toward the end of his life, and it's centered around. I think the it's going to be centered around his death eventually. It may have to do with his plans for the death ray. He's trying to get his lab back and up and running and stuff like that. It's actually really good. It's really well written. I'm enjoying it. It's only the first one that came out last week. You should still be able to find it in your local comic shop. I'll just let me I'm going to send that to our chat. There.
So it sounds like sort of a diesel punk and pulp comic sort of feel.
Exactly. That's almost right. And the main thing what got my attention was Tesla. I consider Tesla the saint. I can't speak anymore.
Patron saint.
Patron saint. Thank you of steampunk. And this is centered around steampunk. Apparently there was a series before this about the girl who handcuffed Houdini, the same girl, Minky Woodcock. I think that's generally around the same time period as well. So I'm going to look into that one, see how close that is to being steampunk. Yeah, so I mean, it's another series. I mean, this is a great time for steampunk, man. We got steampunk on your TV. We got steampunk on the comic books. We got steampunk in the novels. We got steampunk everywhere. This is a great time to be steampunk. There's steampunk everywhere.
I don't remember a time where we had 3 TV shows on major networks that could be considered steampunk.
Exactly, that is exactly right.
And good ones. The fact that
perfect.
They're
yeah.
good.
The last steampunk TV show that I remember really hearing much about is Steampunked. And the reality show.
Yeah, that was. Oh man, yeah, we talked about that one too. Yeah, that
Warehouse
was.
13 was kind of steampunky.
I liked Warehouse 13. Yes, the warehouse itself was very steampunk.
And then but there's been some kind of one-off movies. What was it? The episode of one episode like Disenchanted season was done in like a steampunk world, and they were very exceedingly overly like. I'll admit that artistry for the steampunk world was perfect. It was so well detailed, and so like it's in culture now. If you haven't heard of steampunk by now, it's because you live in just don't go the same places. You're not on the internet in the right places, I guess, anymore. It's kind of, I don't know. I've run into people who don't know what steampunk is, and yet I live like right next to a Renaissance festival. So
and not too far away from Ghost Town.
Yeah, in the Ghost Town. I mean, I live in like everyone knows Wild West. So when I tell them this is 1800s science fiction, they're like, "Oh, okay, I can kind of get behind that."
Yeah, but don't let anybody tell you that steampunk is dying. It's still out there, and like I said, 3 major TV shows at the same time. Boom.
My family only knows what steampunk is because of me.
Yeah.
Like, there's portions of people on my mom's side of the family that are still like, "What are you doing? Like, what is this?" I'm like, "It's steampunk," and they're like, "I don't understand what that is," and I'm like, "It's this." It's like if you took the Wild West and Victorian England and just kind of mashed them together and threw some gears and some, science stuff in it. And
it's like historical reenacting without the history, I guess.
You got to kind of figure out, okay, where is their baseline that you can kind of go from?
Right.
I've brought up Jules Verne to people before, and they said, "Oh, I don't watch that show."
What show?
Jules Verne. It was.
I picked a baseline that was not theirs.
I usually have to jump. I'll be like old books. I'll go like Wild Wild West movie, and the newest one, that one where the cities are eating each other. That one's fairly steampunk.
Yeah, Mortal Engines. Yeah,
Mortal
Engines. People have heard of that one. They're like, that was weird. I'm like,
the problem with Mortal Engines is it ended up falling on its face. We didn't really talk about it on this show, but
I haven't.
I talked about the book once, I believe.
Yeah, we talked about it a little.
The book was great. The movie, as soon as it diverged from the book, it was terrible.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh,
although Carnival Row was not too long ago. I remember that one on Prime Video. That was pretty good. Steampunk.
Yeah,
it didn't go over well.
Extraordinary Gentleman. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
League of Extraordinary Gentlemen is one that my family mostly recognizes as steampunk as Sean Connery.
Yeah.
It was a good attempt. It wasn't a great movie, but it was a good attempt.
Hey.
Really, like 7 pages of the comic, I say they didn't do too bad.
Oh, yeah, true.
I really liked Carnival Row, but I'm a huge Orlando Bloom fan, and I kind of considered Carnival Row as more like fantasy punk because I didn't see a whole lot of steam in it. I mean, I saw some of it, but because of the fairies, I considered it very much like fantasy or fae punk. But that's just me. But I liked it all the same because
it was good,
and I love punk stuff. So yeah.
Oh, what movie was it? There was a movie that came out a while ago now, and it was about like a falling star, and it was a girl, like Stardust, maybe is the movie.
Stardust, yes.
It had what's his name being the lightning collector in an airship.
What
was his name? Not DeVito.
The mole.
De Niro.
Robert De Niro, yes.
It was De Niro. Like, that was like the most steampunk thing I've seen in a long time. And then it was done and it was gone and no one knew that scene. Like,
yeah.
I
read the comics before the movie came out, and beautiful fantasy, not strongly steampunk, but I enjoyed it. When you find yourself on a flying boat.
Flying boat collecting lightning, that's pretty steampunk.
Sure.
We're putting lightning in bottles here. I mean, it's pretty steampunk. But, it's really hard to explain steampunk because it's not like trying to explain Dune to somebody. There's not like there's book and movies behind it. There's just it's a concept and an idea that doesn't have a main core of something.
Yeah.
And so, like, you ever heard of a Cthulhu? Yeah, that's kind of steampunk, but not really. But it's involved. And
Yeah.
Well,
it's
that's with
in there.
that one comic, the Misatonic, that I introduced recently. That one comic that I talked about, that was Cthulhu based.
Yeah.
I mean, steampunk's very broad. Like I said, that's why we have these categories that we try to, if it doesn't have at least three or four out of these, or two out of three, or 3 out of 4, whatever. Yeah. We might need to expand on that and get some.
I mean, we could. That could be. They make it hard. But then we're those people saying things aren't steampunk when they could possibly. I don't know.
I think we try really hard not to be like gatekeepers.
Yeah, I definitely do not want to be a gatekeeper. I just want to introduce.
Where you have to draw a line.
Exactly.
I mean, there's steampunk, Star Wars, and Star Trek out there. I mean, we're kind of like we're really just like steampunk as an aesthetic. So
okay. I do have the steampunk Star Trek, and to me, the only reason I like it is because they're not twisting Captain Kirk and shoving him into a steampunk setting. It's a different enterprise, different crew completely. So it could be an alternate dimension.
Yeah, no, I get it. I think that's
now the Steam Wars, the Star Wars Steam Wars comics, I did not like those because they were saying this was C-3PO, but clearly it was not C-3PO. They took him, they completely twisted him, or this is Han Solo. That wasn't Han Solo, kind of thing. That was the difference in my head between Star Wars steampunk and the Star Trek steampunk.
See, I wasn't even thinking about that. I know some people in the group that go to conventions that have dressed up like we have steampunk Darth Vader, Luke. Like there's a group of guys and girls who do the steampunk Star Wars.
I'm okay with those because they're sort of fan reimaginings of things, but they're not publishing a whole series of comics. It's sort of hard. It's more that you have to swallow rather than finding someone at a convention who's steampunk Boba Fett and okay, that's cool.
There's two things I like. Let's put them together. Fusion.
Well, I mean, I'm not talking about cosplaying. That's different, to me. I mean, if you want to, steampunk up your outfit, great, But I mean, when it comes to like storytelling, like I said, I didn't like the steampunk Star Wars because they were saying, people like this is Han Solo, this is Chewbacca, but they were clearly not those characters. If they had just said it was a Star Wars tale with a steampunk aesthetic,
goofy. A little goofy.
It was very goofy. But like I said, the Star Trek steampunk. Like I said, they didn't try to say this is Kirk. They said this is completely different. This is a different enterprise with a different crew that just happens to have a steampunk aesthetic to it, and it worked for me anyway. Because it's just alternate version, alternate world, whatever you want to call it, So, and I have those comics, and they're really good.
So what do you think, Nicole?
Oh,
throw you on the spot.
I'm one of those that's like, don't like. If they had claimed, I haven't seen or read the Star Wars, the Steam Star Wars or what are Steam Wars. But I'm kind of picky about my Han Solo. If he's not the same Han Solo, it's not Han Solo.
Exactly.
Now, like, not to say if it's not Harrison Ford, it's not Han Solo, because the new Solo movie, the guy who plays Han Solo, he did a good job. But they kept to the storyline, they kept to his character. It's all good. Now, if they just took the name Han Solo and stuck it on a different personality, it's like, no.
That's exactly what they did with the Steam Wars. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
yeah,
that's my argument.
I understand, but I'm not going to be like, no, you can't do that in steampunk. Like, I'm not going to, if someone wants to dress up as that character and say they're Han Solo, I'm not going to be one to, like, no.
Well, I guess what I'm saying is that I'm not saying it wasn't steampunk. What I'm saying is it wasn't Star Wars.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no. Star Wars, like, kind of has a canon that you kind of need to stick to, whereas steampunk doesn't really have a canon. So
exactly.
Do whatever the heck you want. So
apparently, Vice Sci-Fi, there's a steampunk FAQ by Mike Perkshun, Doctor in Steampunk. Oh, Doctor in Steampunk Literature. Well, we're about to have another doctor right now.
Ooh.
Master Blue Stocking is working on her doctorate right now. She's been on the show a few times.
Nice. I would love to have a guy who is doctorate in steampunk literature. That's an interesting. How do you get a doctorate in something that's like up and coming like this.
Yeah, and why didn't anybody tell me that, 7 years
thing.
ago when I was working through college? Like,
Oh my God! Yeah.
I get the feeling that when you get to the doctorate level, you kind of get to make it up as you go along.
that's valid.
I know somebody who's got a doctorate in LARP.
Yeah, I know her. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I'm not gonna, dispute her doctorate. She knows her stuff.
There is that. I mean, I learned accounting in college from a man who had his doctorate in the clarinet. So I mean,
He better be damn good with a clarinet. I tell you
well,
what.
he was very unforgiving when it came to accounting. You're allowed to make 2 mistakes
Ever. Okay.
It was
What?
terrible.
I know you went to Angelo State a few years before me, but who was that?
Dr. Sunderman.
He was still there when I was there, but
I
I didn't
know.
have him because I didn't take accounting because I'm a
There's another teacher. I'm not gonna say she's better. I'm gonna say she's different for the people who don't want to have to be a literal computational machines when they walk out of it. Like most of my friends who took Sunderman, who came out like a completely different mindset of person. But Mrs. Knox was great, and she was fun.
Yeah.
But off topic here.
Sorry.
Speaking of off topic, I'd like to switch topics because they're coming up on the hour, and I want to make sure this gets in before the end of the show.
Yeah.
Jenny Lynn Shaver, who is watching us right now.
And she just commented that county means something different in Tech Talk. I have no idea what that means.
I'll explain it later.
Okay. It's not dirty.
I hope it's dirty.
Jenny Lynn Shaver is a close friend of the show, watches us all the time. She is a vendor at many steampunk events and is looking for someone who would be interested in vending with her and sort of driving out to events with her, who is in Austin because she lives in Austin and sort of fits the aesthetic of steampunk and her particular booth, which she has. Like, she's got the easy up and all the tables and all the good stuff ready for you to add your sundry items for sale if you're willing to share a booth with her and share a drive with her, and you do all the driving.
And I'm assuming to split the booth cost.
You work that out with her.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I presume. I don't know, but she needs some booth tending partner with her moving forward because she's got some medical problems that she needs someone to back her up and make sure she's in the same place.
Jenny, post how people can contact you for that.
Yeah.
Well, she's on Facebook under Genetics Designs, spelled JENETICS. She's also on TikTok.
And are you an artist?
Sure. If you look her up under, I spelled the same way, genetics.firequills, you can find her TikTok page, and she's very amusing. But mostly Facebook, since most of the people watching this are on Facebook, and they can send her a message.
So just to clarify, she's looking for another vendor to be her vendor partner.
Right. And specifically her driver. She's got some medical issue that she tends to pass out every once in a while.
Okay.
Which means she
That's
can't
hard
drive.
when driving. Yes.
The reason why I wanted to clarify that is because I didn't want just some random person who's like, "Hey, I want to go to conventions."
No, you have to actually work.
No.
We're sharing a booth.
No. That's what I wanted to clarify. That they're not just wanting to. It's not like they're gonna pay them to be like an assistant. It's you're vending your wares at the same time she's vending her wares.
Right.
You are equally
looking
making
for an employee. She's looking for a vending partner. Yeah.
Okay. Yes. I wanted to clarify that so that she didn't get random people that was like, hire me. And she's like, I'm not hiring. I just want, yeah.
So
Yeah.
just I want to throw this out there. If I'm vending somewhere, I would not mind sharing or helping her. I don't know a lot of the events that are going on currently, which I need to be getting back on that. So I mean, yeah, I mean,
I don't think anybody knows about the events going on right now. It's sort of our job to know, and we don't know.
We don't know.
Yeah.
Hey,
If we knew, we would tell you.
I know a maybe. I know a hopeful. That's all I
Yeah.
know. Like,
Right? Yeah.
That's good. I mean,
And
we
it's the
now have
best
a
one in
hopeful.
Texas anyway,
Yeah.
most of the time. So
Exactly.
yeah.
at least for steampunk people, it's really
Yeah.
hard to. Yeah. So you've got takers, Jenny. We're here for you. We'll just play it loose and figure it out as we go.
Yeah. What Kristen says that events are, hey, we want to do things, but we don't know if we can do things. That's kind of
That makes it hard to plan.
yeah.
Definitely makes it hard to plan.
Like you set out a weekend to go to this thing, and then it craps out, and now you're at loose ends.
So
Yep.
Rita, what con did you attended virtually? What did you attend, and how was it? I've keep seeing about these virtual cons, but I've never actually gone to one because I didn't know what to expect, and I'm not very. Sometimes my attention span is not very good, so
Flavio, let me let you in a little bit. This would be considered a panel, especially it would be considered a panel if we had we're here to talk about something 101, like steampunk.
Okay, so we would be a panel right now.
It would be a panel.
Virtual.
So that's and then of course if you're going to buy something, it'd be a whole bunch of people give little mini videos of what they're selling and then a link to their website.
Oh, okay.
So
I would have a hard time keeping if
Yeah.
if I was watching us right now, I have a hard time paying attention. I'm sorry because my attention
would be
is
like having a video feed of all right, here's the panel from this time to this time. Here we're going to go 15 minutes of looking at everyone's sales stuff and then moving on to the music video of the live music and then cut to other panels and such. Kind of have it that way. If you didn't have to walk at a convention, you just had all of a sudden a camera turned on and you're in a different part of a convention.
So it's like the Jerry Lewis telethon of steampunk. Kids aren't even going to know what that is, but back in the olden times when there were 4 channels, ask your parents who Jerry Lewis is. Go away.
You're making me feel old.
Oh, I just got older yesterday. Oh my god.
Well, I'm going to keep my mouth shut and just stay over here.
You don't know who Jerry Lewis is.
Smile and
Okay, I
nod.
understand.
Just smile and nod.
He was a comedic actor back in the day.
Okay.
The Germans thought he was really funny.
Oh, that says a lot.
But he really cared about sick kids. That's why he did the marathon.
Right. It was a fundraising for sick kids, and he would have this show that would go on for hours. And sometimes
a variety show, essentially.
And he'd be like, and call the phone bank, and they'd take a camera and they'd look at the phone bank for 2 seconds, and they'd be like some sort of people acting like they're busy in front of a whole bunch of telephones.
First off, they were telephones that were huge with a handle that plugged into the wall somewhere.
It's all these ridiculous, stupid telephones from the 60s that they have set up for props for all these people to look like they're being busy.
Right.
Anyway.
Oh man, we are digressing. We are over the hour. I guess we should probably wrap things up. Actually, I forgot to ask. Did you have anything to introduce steampunk wise today, Nicole? I did my homework. They did theirs.
Mine was the information about Steampunk November.
Perfect.
That was mine.
Awesome. That's great. That's great. Awesome.
That's very helpful.
That's a really good one. Okay, then. Once again, thank you everybody for watching. Thank you everybody for listening. In the future, when this is up in the podcast feeds, you can, once again, if you have any questions or comments, you can talk to us on Facebook at Texas Steampunk Connection. We also have an email, texassteampunkconnection@gmail.com. Any complaints, criticisms, go ahead and find us on, where, I don't know, wherever. Find us. Twitter, yes, that place.
Tweeted us.
And if you want to watch reruns with our faces, I am working diligently to get us all on the Steam Chest YouTube channel. So
yes, that'd be awesome. And speaking of which, we're talking about and thinking about in the very early stages of actually making a Patreon page in which we'll have other stuff available, like maybe some possible videos that you can only see through Patreon. But
content.
very, very early stages. It may or may not even happen.
It'll happen.
It'll happen. Apparently, okay. I have a commitment.
We need it.
We need the money.
It's coming up to the time.
To
I think
the orphans that we're going to use for filming.
Well, actually, if for some reason you cannot find the podcast at the podcatchers, it's because I did not pay the fee to back it up. Because it's due around this time, either yesterday or today. So either it auto paid or it hasn't paid yet. So I will find out in a little while whether or not the podcast is available. That is another reason why we need Patreon, because it's kind of pricey.
We'll set you up a Patreon, and then we'll advertise the heck out of it next episode, and everyone can hate us for it.
Right.
I'll take my shirt off for a Snickers.
That doesn't help.
We don't need Snickers.
Fee.
We need money.
But it will keep him fed, apparently. You couldn't find me on Twitter. Twitter, it is what is the Twitter handle? Texas Steam Connect, I believe it is. So it was kind of dicey there at the beginning when I first got that, because a lot of very steamy pictures that were not steampunk related, or people were trying to join.
That's just anybody on Twitter, man. You just have to deal with that.
Yeah, but I don't understand Twitter, so as I said before. And that's not a surprise. Nicole, being the youngest one here, should understand Twitter better than the rest of us, but
she's a TikTok user. Twitter's our generation.
Yeah.
Twitter's not. My generation is MySpace. I'm sorry, but MySpace is gone.
Yeah, MySpace.
That was actually mine to begin with. That's actually how I met my boyfriend. But Twitter annoys me. So okay. I never really got into Twitter because it annoyed me. So I was an Instagram, Facebook, and now a TikTok user, but that's it.
Well, if you want to make a Texas Steampunk Connected, if you want to make a Texas Steampunk Connection Instagram, feel free.
Okay.
Because I don't know how to have
pictures
that
of your food with it. You got to have pictures of food on that, or else this is never going to get anybody.
Steampunk food. I don't know what that is, but anyway.
Food.
I'm on GeoCities. If you want to look it up.
I still have a Yahoo account.
Well.
Right?
You're going to run off all of our viewers that are under the age of 22.
Do we have people under the age of 22?
Not anymore.
Wow. Okay. Well, we are way over time. Well, not way over time. We are at least 12 minutes over time, and I've already said our goodbyes and thank yous. So we are signing off. Until next time, mind your gauges.
Bye.